Hi, my name is Bailie, and today I'm going to be speaking on the effects of phonics instruction on student proficiency in reading. The purpose of this study is to improve reading proficiency of English learners. There has been a gap between English learners and other students within academic achievement in reading at WB Elementary. Most English learners transfer in knowing little to no English. When these students arrive in second grade, they have a lack of phonics background. The supplementary curriculum will help those students since the curriculum provided does not focus enough on phonics instruction. WB Elementary is low in reading proficiency. This study targets one second grade class at WB Elementary. English learners get pulled out for specialized English language instruction, but this is not enough. It is clear from data and observations taken from assignments, tests, and small groups that these students lack the necessary phonics skills. The problem in this study addresses poor student academic achievement in reading. This graph shows a visual representation of how diverse one second grade class is. From the 43.8% of students of Asian descent, and about half of those students started the school year unable to speak English, with no previous instruction of English starting at second grade. In this graph, we see the reading proficiency data at WB Elementary from the Alabama State Report Card in 2019. A total of 57% of students are proficient readers, while 43% are non-proficient readers. The STAR Screener is a report that WB Elementary uses to track student growth throughout the year. The initial date was of August 2019. The graph on the right shows 41.2% of students categorized as urgent intervention or intervention. There are 2 students within this category that are not English learners. For this study, the following research question was addressed. Will phonics instruction increase the level of student proficiency within reading for English learners? This study includes one research hypothesis. Phonics instruction will increase reading proficiency among English learners. Phonics instruction must be implemented to get students to become fluent readers and improve the academic achievement in reading. Implementation of phonics will allow students to decode letters into words, which help them read unfamiliar words. Phonics instruction is vital for English learners who go to WB Elementary unable to read. Focusing on phonics will bridge the gap between English learners and general education students. The curriculum provided by the district does not include enough phonics instruction. Supplementary phonics material will aid English learners' proficiency in reading. The teacher will implement different phonics strategies within small groups with English learners. The instructor will compose a quasi-experimental research study using mixed methods for the collection of the results of the STAR Screener results alongside student observations in a small group will be used. During small group, the teacher will break down phonics for students to better understand the instructions and how to implement phonics. The instructor will compare the results of the student's STAR reading assessment for the fall of 2019 to the spring of 2020 to see if the phonics skills have improved reading proficiency within English language learners. Literature to support the research. The behaviors theory will allow students to become conditioned into term learning habits that worked and did not work for them. As the researcher implements operant conditioning within phonics instruction, students will gain the repetition of specific phonics strategies that increase reading comprehension. Students will be rewarded positively or negatively based on their responses in instruction. The instructor should incorporate technology during phonics instruction. Students must get practice somewhere other than small group and direct instruction from the teacher. Digital tools can provide meaningful opportunities for English learners. Differentiated instruction is needed to create a plan that fits any student. Each student may have a different plan or different way to understand things. Phonics instruction will be based on the student's needs during small group. There are 4 main approaches to phonics instruction, but the main one I want to focus on is explicit phonics instruction. Students learn letter-sound relationships, and they build to sound out words. Research has been done that shows explicit phonics instruction does benefit English learners. It is essential to use this type of instruction during small group time with students. WB Elementary is a K through 5 school, and the population of the school varies from year to year due to military students. There are 444 students enrolled at WB Elementary School. There are 20 general education homeroom classes, and of those 20 classes, there are 4 second grade general education classes. The sample includes 1 second grade class from WB Elementary School that receives specialized English services. The sample represents 24.1% of the students who receive specialized services at WB Elementary School. The sample consists of 7 Asian males and 1 Hispanic male. The students' ages vary from 7 to 9 years old. The sampling technique will be purposive sampling since data shows a connection between low reading proficiency and English learners. This will be a quasi-experimental research study since there is no random assignment, the groups already exist. This study will use student observations and data collected from STAR reports. The study used mixed methods for the intake of data. The objective of this is to increase reading proficiency. Determining what phonics strategies to implement will depend on what the participant needs. The problem in this study will address poor proficiency in reading. The instructor will implement phonics instruction during reading. Students will be able to take the phonics instruction and implement the strategies taught to motivate and enable them to read individually. Participants in this study will receive information on their rights. Parents will be informed of this as well due to the age of the participant. All data will be kept confidential to where the researcher can see and record data. Students will learn and apply different phonics strategies based on student observations. The independent variable is the study is phonics instruction. There are different approaches to phonics instruction that will be determined by the student's needs. The dependent variable is student achievement. The researcher can conclude student achievement based on observations and STAR results. Participants will partake in progress monitoring every 10 days during a 9-week quarter. This progress monitor will be taken through STAR progress monitoring assessments. Student observations will be taken daily on observation forms. Participants will apply these skills together and ultimately individually. Not only will this practice be in small group, but practice will be using technology resources as well. The teacher will then use observations to track the improvement of the participant. Data from the STAR progress monitoring will be recorded and observed from the instructor. STAR progress monitoring will be used in the study for students to complete assessments. After students take the assessments, there is a report generator that identifies student skills. STAR is reliable while being able to identify students at risk within reading. STAR assessments will be used for all participants to maintain control over any threats to internal validity. The STAR reading assessment may not be internally valid because it measures more than just reading skills and phonics. The purpose of the resource is to employ phonics strategies. This will aid student motivation and increase reading proficiency. Resources will be needed for supplemental phonics instruction outside of the school. This will be paid for by WB Elementary PTA funds. Internet connection could potentially be an interference within this study. Lack of internet could limit the number of times a participant can take the STAR progress monitoring assessment. A server shutdown could potentially be a limitation as well. Students who are absent from school may lose valid instruction time from the instructor and practice of these phonics skills, which may lead to a decrease in reading proficiency. If this research would have been carried out, the researcher and instructor would see reading scores of participants increase. Students would be able to decode words by themselves. This would be seen with notes taken from the instructor. Changes made to this study may help increase the accuracy of results. Oral fluency passages may be a better tool to determine if students' phonics skills have increased. Also, each participant should have additional one-on-one time with the instructor to improve skills that fit the individual needs. Thank you for listening. That's all I have.